Alright, guys. I received a few emails, and some people have said I talk about something being something else. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what it could be as far as something else. Because y'all say I say it's not Bigfoot. Alright, here's a few stories. There was one where my uncle and them had noticed in the evening there was a white object out in the field. Uh, they said it wasn't walking, it's like it was floating through the field. It looked like an old man with a white t-shirt. They said it floated through the field. My uncle actually shot at it with a 30-06. He's the one that's in Vietnam. Said he couldn't hit it. It's like a little phase. It just floated on through the field. And, there could be some, different things that people say, oh, it was, car lights or something like that. But, yeah, because they knew that weird things were going on at the time. So, I'm sure it was something, I don't know, maybe paranormal. There was also one night in particular, they were all sleeping. And there was, there was 6 girls, 2 boys, and then, of course, my grandma. And they said they had just laid down and went to sleep, locked the doors. In the doors, they would stick butcher knives through the door frame to help secure the door. One of my mom's sisters, of course, they all had to sleep in the same beds because my grandpa was a logger. They lived in the country. They didn't have a lot of money, but they were country folk. They survived. But they was all in bed. There was 3 bedrooms. You could shoot from one room to the middle room to the back room. All had doors, which didn't have doors on them. They were open. There was another room that went into the front room from the bedroom. And then the middle bedroom had a doorway that went into the kitchen, from the kitchen to the front room. So a pretty open layout house. One of my aunts was asleep, and she woke up. And when she looked up, there was something standing at the door. She could see the shadow of what looked like a very big man. You know how tall a doorway is. She said his head was almost right at the doorway. So, been frightened as she was sleeping by her mom and I think 2 other sisters or another sister or something. She grabbed the covers and just slid them over her head. She was a frightened little girl, and that's, I guess, all she knew to do. But she waited a little bit longer, and of course, curiosity and everything. She pulls the covers down, and it's standing over the bed looking at her. Afraid to say anything, she covers her head back up. Nobody else in the house knows this thing is standing over the bed looking at Mom and the little girls. The dad is away logging. He's not home a lot. The 2 boys, teenagers, and one's away at Vietnam. So it's mostly just girls. They're laying in there. Later on that night, they all wake up, and she ends up telling her mom what happened. They check the doors, and the weird thing is, all the doors are locked, all the windows are locked, the knives are still there. So later on, they're all laying in their beds. The other girls that were scared all came into the same room, went on the floor, and they said in the kitchen, it sounded like somebody had took and just poured a whole sack of beans all over the floor in there. They said you could hear them, it sounded like they just went everywhere. So they got up, thinking, beans had fell or something off the shelf. There wasn't a thing in the floor in there. And like I said, all the doors and windows are secured. And it was just a really weird night. Well, the next day, they were all out in the yard, and they had a little dog. And the little dog come running from across the road. It was carrying something. They couldn't tell what it was. They'd carry it for a little ways, then it would drop it. It would carry it for a little ways, then it would drop it. Like, and it finally got whatever it was carrying. It was like a ball of something. Got it up to a propane tank, which was kind of close to the house, and dropped it one last time, and it caught on fire. Caught the grass and everything on fire, and it just burned up. They didn't know what that was. Another thing that had happened is me and my cousin were out in the hog lot one night. We played outside, and we were playing, and we looked down toward the hog lot, and it's almost dark, almost time to come in, and there's two white things standing down at the fence that separated Grandma's property from the adjacent property, which had a very large pond. We started watching them, and as we watched them, they moved kind of weird across through the trees and then back toward the pond. And as they went toward the pond, they got lighter and lighter, and as they went shorter and shorter down. And we thought, well, they were gone. But when they got back over kind of by the pond, they got really tall again, like really tall, and then went back out like they went right into the pond and just were gone. So, I mean, a lot of weird things like that. We don't know what they were. I'm not going to say, I don't know what they were. I know we've seen it, but, what is it? I don't know. Have any of y'all dealt with anything happen like this? I know that there was an older lady who used to come visit my grandma at night, and her husband had passed, and she lived way further down into the woods, and she swore if she wasn't home by dark, she didn't go home. She said because if you drove down her driveway and tried to walk in that house, she said it would sit out there and laugh at her. She said not like a human laugh, but like something that tried to sound like a human. So she said at nighttime going home, definitely not. She said it would laugh at her, whistle at her. She looked out the door one night because she heard something, and she said when she was looking out the door, this bothers me kind of because I wasn't there, and I'm not going to call her a liar because she was a school teacher. She was retired from the Navy, very respectable lady. But she said when she walked out on her porch, she said it was something like it had a long neck. She said, and a weird looking face. She couldn't hardly describe it. She said it looked like an owl's face, like an owl with little ears, but a real long neck. And she said it just kind of like looked up around her porch at her and kind of looked at her. And she said she just slammed the door, ran inside, locked it, called, her sister, I think it was. And when her sister was on her way down there, she was pulling up through the driveway. She seen something run from her barn on two legs out across the field toward the lake. So, pretty wild things had happened down there to this lady. She's passed away now, but she was a very, very nice lady. She told me many stories, and I spent many nights with her and my grandma overnight listening to their stories. So, just to share a few with y'all. I enjoy them. I hope you all enjoy them. It's just some of my, the old stories I heard from the old people, and they have really good stories, and you can learn a lot by listening to them because they have a lot of experience. And respect your elders, guys. There's not a lot of them left anymore, and they carry a lot of good history with them. Pay attention to them and listen. I wish I would have listened more. If y'all haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please, and hit the bell. YouTube is killing me on my my videos getting out there. If I don't get that, they're not putting me out as much, so the algorithm is really putting my videos down, I've noticed. So if you don't mind, just a quick hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscription. I'd sure appreciate it, guys. I'm really trying to grow this channel to get more information out. I got more equipment coming. There is going to be some outdoor stuff. It's just waiting on it in the mail. I think I actually get some of it tomorrow, so I'm doing the best I can for you guys. I want to get the truth to you. I don't want to rush things and get false stuff. We'll learn more from the truth. I appreciate you watching. Be safe, and if you're out hunting this stuff, be safe, know what you're doing. Don't just go out blindly, because I promise, some people, they don't come back. Be careful.